You can start with, for example, what do we already know? That could be verbal. So children are throwing things out there, you note them down, or you get the children to write it on post-its. So then you collate them, you think, right, okay, so you've already done this, we don't need to cover that now. Or you're aware of that, right, that's great. So first you can ascertain where they're at and have some sort of evidence for that without having to require the children to write it all down.
With year ones, you're not going to get much written down. You're going to get verbal statements from them, aren't you, that shows their face.
And we want to know their knowledge, or what they've discussed, or their ideas. It's a different task if they can then scribe it and record it in their books. This is for gathering what they know, rather than what they can write down.
By having something different to writing, you're then making it a bit more inclusive. So particularly for those children that dislike writing, when you say, what do you know, what can you remember? Oh, this, that shoots out of them. You say, write it down and go, okay.
Because with RE, it's difficult because we tend to differentiate according to writing ability, but that's putting a cap on so many children's learning, because the faith aspect, you could have some of the children come out with the most profound statements about their faith, but they can't write them down.
So, and you might use it for your differentiation in your group. Some you think, right, I'm going to sit with that group and we're going to note down lots of different ideas. I'm going to write them, they're going to do it and feed me. Whereas the other groups might be writing other things down to go on post-its or whatever to put in. So it just depends, using the differentiation to support gathering that information and the knowledge of what the children do know and what they can do.
I can document it without necessarily having to have them all do it, mark them all, because this is just a fact sharing or information sharing session.
Sometimes you give it to the children, like you say, maybe higher up the school you'd give it to the children and say, you're having a discussion about this, or I want you to make a mind map of images of the Holy Spirit. So can you just create a mind map, please, that group, and you'll leave them independently. Whereas for something like the this one where we did the I wonder questions, I was there as a teacher reading the questions to them, then we were having a bit of a discussion, and then I said, right, now you write it down. So this is more of a to show what we did, whereas I got a lot more out of it than is actually in this learning journal because I worked with those children. So sometimes it'll be that you leave the children to work with the learning journal independently, and sometimes it will be a teacher-led learning journal activity.